Now, the national and county government institutions have resolved to take deliberate actions to gradually lower the national wage bill as to 35% of the national revenue in the next 4 years. Now, speaking at the closure of the third National Wage Bill Conference, President William Ruto committed to rallying the national government towards the goal, even as county governments calls for allocation of more revenue to lower the proportion going towards wages. Let's get more from our very own Sam Gituku.
For 3 days, institutions from the national and county governments had converged at the Bomas of Kenya in search of solutions to the national wage bill that takes up to 47% of revenues currently. As per the 2022-2023 numbers, 1.1 trillion shillings of national revenue was spent on paying salaries and allowances among nearly 1 million public officers.
It's a moral issue, it's an ethical issue. How can we have 1 million people who are the public servants consuming 41% of our revenues and leaving the other 53 million people to consume 59%?
And you know the irony of this is that when we are asked, those of us who have the privilege to earn from the taxes of Kenyans, when we are asked to contribute 1.5% so that other Kenyans can have a job, we have a big problem.
And after acknowledging the problem, the conference resolved to progressively reduce the wage bill to 35% of revenue by 30th of June 2028. Ministries, departments or institutions are required to submit their action plans to their respective cabinet secretaries or county executive committees for approval by the end of June this year. The control of budget, national treasury and county governments are required to monitor the progress to ensure compliance. While at it, public institutions have been directed to review and rationalize their staff establishments with a view to aligning to affordability, fiscal sustainability, and ensure the right skill set for the right organizational structures.
The wage bill for this institution.
Council of Governors Chair Anne Waiguru, however, decried the reality that devolved units could be victims of perpetual succession of government, now calling for more funds to the counties.
We also inherited mostly on the county's side bloated public services from the defunct local authorities. If the percentage of the revenue to counties was higher, and if counties put measures in place to increase their revenue allocation, they would be able to lower the average, the wage bill average.
The conference further resolved to stop manual payrolls that, according to the control of budget, have been abused at both county and national government levels. According to the Controller's report, for the financial year ended June 2023, the 47 counties paid up to 195 billion shillings as personnel emoluments. Some counties, however, paid up to 23% of salaries through manual payrolls. Nakuru County leading at 1.6 billion shillings, Bomet 920 million shillings, while Uasin Gishu paid up to 778 million shillings. At the national level, up to 11.6 billion shillings was paid outside the recommended electronic payroll system, IPPD. The Bomas Conference resolving that all that must cease and all institutions migrate to the Human Resource Information System, Kenya, by June 2025.
We must deal firmly, decisively with corruption. There is a lot of wastage. There is pilferage. There is outright theft in the public space.
There was a lot of discussions around duplication of functions, duplication of roles, duplication of mandates. But the question that was asked in the end is, what happened to the previous reports?
Even though the conference resolved to entrench measurement of productivity in a system that ideally should lead to identification of non-productive workers, there was no mention as to plans to cut on the number of public employees, nor a freeze on new hiring. Sam Gituku, Citizen TV,